4 years, there's no more DJT. I mean, Trump's also getting quite old. I think he's gonna not love tweeting or truthing very much. It's just hard to see that being a legitimate business worth billions of dollars. People don't even take it that seriously now. I don't know how they're gonna take it seriously when Trump's not president, which will happen, by the way. A lot of people forget it's a 4-year thing, but a corporation is forever. I mean, the guy is not young, you know. I wish him the longest life and the healthiest life. I do. I like the guy a lot. I like his family a lot. It's not a corporation that, you know, unless they make drastic changes, and I'm not sure who they have in charge, that I think if Ivanka or Jared or somebody wanted to run DJT, it would be much better, but they could have done that now. And I think the conflict of interest while you're president is too great, but the only value comes from while you're president. It's a very much conundrum. Must be quite frustrating from their part. But that's the whole point, is that, you know, you're not supposed to be making money off your presidency. Yeah, I don't know, Ron, you're gonna have to have revenue and earnings, right? Last quarter, their revenue was actually down year over year. Revenue being down is, for you know, the guy being the front runner for presidency, is just very surprising. As an investment, would you invest in that company? And the answer for 99% of people is no. It doesn't make sense. It's not a rational thing to do. So that's kind of the way I feel about DJT. Again, it's not personal at all. Yeah, my guess there, A27, is that they're also going to have the conflict of interest problem, where it's going to be like, oh, okay, so you're doing that, and then you're going to be really bullish on that asset that your administration is favoring. You could do either one, short DJT or sell calls. I don't know that it matters. Okay, let's look at some stocks. ALGS is one that somebody just mentioned. So this is Aligos, maybe? Okay, $24 stock. Big market cap. Wow, this thing went down. It went all the way up, gapped up, down, all the way back up. Oh yeah, that's interesting. I don't know much about the rocket lab, the whole, I really just don't know much about space. Does anybody? There's not many publicly traded space companies or defense companies. There's thousands of biotech companies. It's a little hard to like master one industry and like meet all the people you need to meet. And I like Sam. He's probably one of the best entrepreneurs right now. I mean, he built a $150 billion company from scratch. That's pretty wild. I don't think he said publicly that he wanted to raise $7 trillion. But clearly he's ambitious. Oh, whoa, these guys have a really small market cap? Did they issue more shares? No, I don't have any Palantir position. I'd probably be long if I had to do anything. So he did a 1-for-25 reverse stock split. So this is still a small cap. This could be interesting. It's kind of looks like a good long. You have to get really detailed into the THR beta. I bought JNX, and I know what JNX is, JANX, and I sold it. Lost some money on it. I don't know, chickens, guys. You're gonna have to make some decisions for yourself. I still like 𝗕𝗄𝗏, but I'm not your broker. Adma, Joe, it sounds like you're reading the lawyers' news headlines. Lawyers sue companies for no reason. Almost every single company these days. You know what's an interesting one is Mythic AI. It's privately held, but I'm very interested in what they're doing. Yeah, usually those legal kind of litigation that these companies file is not serious. Anytime a stock goes down, a lawyer spends $100 and does a quote-unquote investigation. Yeah, that guy just threw me off on Aligos. Like, okay, so have they not filed the Q3? I guess they have 15 more days or 10 more days, but they have to file their Q3 financials. Yeah, Citizen, but that's a big pivotal. Was that the first trial, or how'd they get approval is the question? Because if they got approval on 600, I don't see how 𝗎𝗎𝗔 can get approval on 50. There's just not many patients. I don't think Carvana is that insanely overvalued, but I can't say I've looked at it very closely. I looked at it for a short period of time. I didn't see what the big fuss was about that it was that overvalued. I don't know if it's time to short BTC, but it certainly feels like it's a little under. Doesn't feel like it's that great of a long. I'll say that. Thanks, Anonymous. Appreciate that. get back to that stock in a minute. So one of the ways to look at bright minds is they're developing this drug for developmental epilepsies. We have to look at Longboard, which Lundbeck announced they're acquiring. And then I also want to look at Zogenix, which somebody acquired. It may even have been Lundbeck, but I don't think so. UCB, I think. And see how the Zogenix drug is selling, because I don't think it's selling that well. Your 𝗍𝗂, you have the December expiry or a certain week. I think it'll be below 250 by the third Friday. They're all falling out of taste, Tom. All those stocks are kind of been beat up a bit. I still like them all. Oh yeah, you're gonna get paid, Andy. I think you're gonna get paid. I mean, you're not gonna get paid a lot, but your cost was also probably pretty low. I think you'll get 50 cents out of them. Hopefully you didn't buy them for 50 cents. I think 𝗍𝗂 will try to find some other drug. Rick Barry will try to do a turnaround until it's probably fine. I like Resolute. They should bring in some real dynamite CEO. Somebody that's like totally off the wall. Give somebody really great, like the chance to lead Intel and turn it around. Yeah, it's always like a week after everybody covers their short that these stocks go down. I was shorting for the same reason I was shorting APLT. Sometimes these shorts, it's even easier after the fail. You don't have to take any risk. Chances of 𝗍𝗄𝗏 approval, maybe like 25%, maybe less, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think CHEGG's a good time to book your profits. All you guys who got my CHEGG suggestion, thank you. You're welcome. Enjoy the profits. It's on the house. I'm surprised you trade CHEGG options, because the stock is an option. Zero strike price call. They tried hard, Jeff, to develop 3 pain drugs, or two pain drugs and 1 other drug, and it just didn't work. I'm very happy all you guys made money on CHEGG. A lot of people didn't understand that pick. They thought it was all about the competition. That didn't really make much sense. I think CHEGG could still be a good long for the long run. At this point, it's a big return very quickly. So the IRR is extremely good. Imagine making 50% in, I don't know, a month or two. The annualized rate of that is so insane, you gotta sell it. High probability of approval, 25%. I would say that's the best case scenario. Okay, so Fintepla was what Zogenix made. And so UCB bought Zogenix, wow, for 2 billion. 2 billion euros? No, $2 billion, 1.9. Yeah, DJT is rallying, but you have to be willing to withstand a change in price on any stock that you I don't think you're going to see CHEGG recalibrate all the way back, but it did recalibrate 50 or 75%, depending where you bought it. That's a pretty good return. You don't have to be greedy. They're definitely lower volatility, which is great, and they can make you a lot of money if you know how to trade them well. You're good at predicting psychology, especially important in those stocks. The fundamentals are like very much well known. I don't know, depth. I don't know that you need a reason. My experience in the market isn't that every move in the market has a reason. I think any kind of short exposure to DJT is smart. Okay, so Fintepla sold $1.54 last quarter. Oh, okay, that's 6 months. I thought it was a quarter. That's also euros. No, Miss Love, meme stocks are good to short. Revenue for DJT is around 4 million. Yeah, but Trump's only going to be president for 4 years. So how much revenue can they make in 4 years? And then it's kind of, they might as well shut down Truth Social at that point. No, you don't need a catalyst, Asmit. Nothing wrong with just shorting an overvalued stock. It's in the models folder. So github.com/Martin Shkreli/models. The one that says stock market models. We have a deal coming with S&P Global and NASDAQ to do indices. Typically, there's 2 or 3 commands on Bloomberg for indices, so WEI, it's World Equity Indices. We'll get OTC soon. We're actively and ready to pay for that. There is trade, there's some stocks invested in success. I looked at a drug company yesterday called Resolute, which is RZLT. I like that. Yes, fadeaways. So the way Godel works and Bloomberg is you go to the terminal, you type in the ticker, and you press F8 if it's a stock. So I press F8, and then if I want to see the holders list, type HDS, enter. 𝗚𝗍𝗏 closes it. We are going to add TSX Venture. We have TSX now. We have a good relationship with TSX, so we'll add Venture shortly. And I noticed that on Yahoo Finance, you can't get historical prices anymore. So Godel is free. You can use Godel for free. There are features limited with the free version, but if you want historical prices, you can download them. We're not going to gatekeep historical prices. That's insane. You can do historical options prices, I believe. Let me take a look. So you go to Oman. There we go, yeah. Launch quote and terminal. And then I can do HP, I think. Maybe. Yeah, HP. Nope, that gives me the underlying historical price. Let's see if we can get that for you. But you can do graphs. So there's graphs. So you can graph historical prices pretty easily. Okay, so drug isn't so bad. That's really not a bad valuation. Then you have 𝗕𝗡𝗏, which is fenfluramine. That's a 5-HT2B agonist. Yeah, that is true. There's plenty of room, I think, for more drugs here. So yeah, Brightline doesn't look so bad. DRUG. I would recommend it. Nothing new on 𝗍𝗓𝗄𝘅. So that's it for Bright Minds. Let's look at some other stocks now. Yeah, I like it. I used to do this in this column. I'm going to add it here. Rating and conviction. So let's see, for Bright Minds, I don't know, I'll rate that like a 6. I'll put conviction just low just because I don't know it that well. There was a question about BIOMEA, BMEA. I don't know that one, so I'm going to look at it. I mean, rarely tennis champ, but I don't really care what the market is as long as, what the market cap is, as long as there's an opportunity. I'll even short really small market caps. I don't care. I think my mentor either created BIOMEA or was one of the largest shareholders. So I just point out that my analysis has nothing to do with that. And whether I like it or don't like it, I'm not, it's still a drug. Vaccine, drug, same thing. Drug is a pretty big term, catch-all term. Yeah, I just want to make that disclosure just because somebody will probably figure that out. Okay, so 𝗍𝗂𝗏𝗔𝗍𝗍. Is their trial name really named Covalent? It's not the name I would choose. Yeah, don't I know it? I'm down a lot on DJT, but you know, you gotta be willing to wait it out. I mean, part of the game. Can't only have gains. I'm diversifying today. Selling 1 million shares of DJT, no big deal. It's not a big deal. Just trimming a little bit, 10% for the big guy. If Biden can do it, I can do it. Why can't I do it? It's 10% for the big guy. It's respectful shorting, it's fine. Yeah, Wiz of the East, that's, it is true. It could take a little while. 𝗍𝗂𝗏𝗔𝗍𝗍 is for tumors too? We have a lot of features coming. Every feature Bloomberg has, and then stuff they haven't thought of. Well, debt is a financial liability. I mean, all liabilities to some extent are financial, but you just want to know how much cash and debt a company has, especially in extreme situations, because you can get a very good handle on how much that is. But if there's a big imbalance in the other situation, I look at that too. So working capital usually is balanced. There's accounts payable and accounts receivable. They're usually kind of balanced. But debt can be very unbalanced because it's a large amount. But, you know, I would look at both. Look at all the above, but typically it's debt you want to pay attention to. There's a lot of features, Melvin. Probably bonds. You know, bonds are kind of what makes the Bloomberg terminal so thorough. I think 𝗍𝗓𝗄𝘅 is a slow dumpster fire that turns into a binary event. The data's already out. Hyperion, ivermectin is FDA approved. It's just not approved for whatever disease you think it shows efficacy in, probably because it doesn't show efficacy in it. Baker Brothers, smart guys, very smart. I believe when it comes to the bio, they're the best. When it comes to computer, Elon's the best. No debt is neither positive nor negative. It just is. It's like a color blue or something, you know, it's just. Week 26 data of phase 2b, covalent 111, 200 type 2 diabetes patients. Every day, 𝗙𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏 is putting out a press release on AccessWire for every stock. I think some people use AccessWire. There's not really an ivermectin owner. It's generic. Okay, they actually have a bunch of cash, BIOMEA. So if this was a short, that's already been, these guys are useless. The law firms should, can't we just ban? 𝗙𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏 is messing up every financial terminal. I'm gonna call the law firm up, be like, hey, guys, quit it. So they had a clinical hold and then they took off the clinical hold. I don't know, is there reverb? Let me see, can you guys hear this now? 𝗚𝗏𝗘𝗵𝗏. Can you guys hear this now? That should be much better. That was stupid. I was using the webcam mic, I think. 𝗚𝗏𝗃𝗏. Yeah, the lawyer was hilarious today, the other side. He was like so old. He's like, do you mean to tell me that you lied on social media? And I was like, well, I wouldn't call it lying, but you know, people on social media sometimes say things just to say them. He's like, oh, like, what's wrong with this guy? Are you 200 years old? I was like, in a practice known as trolling, he's trying to explain it to the judge. It is well known that what you're saying is not necessarily truthful, but is said for comedic intent. This is sometimes called trolling. I did my best to explain it. In fact, there's a meta, even the word meta was like strange to use. It's like there's a meta humor where listeners expect what's being said to not be true. A little bit of somewhat like sarcasm. What the problem is, if you're trolling and you didn't expect at the time for your statements to be a part of a legal record, I don't think you could be held accountable for that. Yeah, I think CHEGG has sort of gotten back to, a little back to normal. I enjoy making large return rapidly and moving on. Yeah, it's like a buy at $1, $1.50. It's not half cash because they have debt. Check the balance sheet. Oh, Sava long at 1? Yeah, sure, maybe. $1, I'll take it. Yeah, cash is 310 last quarter. It's probably like 290 at some point. It's interesting. There is a mechanistic rationale for menin.
I disagree. I'm going to suspect that Mike is a lingering short. Maybe not, but that is like a
12 days of innovation from OpenAI, starting tomorrow. 12 launches, 12 bangers. Let's go. On the first day of Christmas, Sam Altman gave to me. Trying to figure out a few new stocks. This website. I have no position in Rocket Lab. Looks like it could be an okay long, but pretty risky, high momentum stock. It's a very unique mechanism, and I happen to know the guy that invented the drug. He used to work for me. So I certainly don't think I could short this. And I'm not sure I'd want to. I mean, the drug had some activity, and there's the cancer side, and then they have a GLP. Hard to short anything GLP related either. Yeah, menin is not a bad target. I mean, it doesn't look like an instant short. Well, Max Pop, you can sort of check it out here, but basically we offer a sort of similar CLI to the Bloomberg terminal, so you can use the terminal to pull up data and information very quickly. So news, we have better news than almost any other terminal other than Bloomberg. We have holders list, charts. We have a chat room that's pretty good. We have this focus component, which is kind of neat, where you can pull out a price and just have it on your screen. We've got company filings with SEC, of course. We've got time and sales, global time and sales. So this is the entire NASDAQ feed, Jesus, madness. Too much to see. Even just doing one stock. We have a little screener, which we have to improve. Historical prices, which amazingly Yahoo has stopped providing. We have earnings estimates, analyst recommendations. I'm down like 100 Gs on DJT. Brian, good idea. We should do 𝗨𝗪𝗔𝗍𝗍. We will do it soon. Yeah, DES and stuff like that. Sava time and sales. Now then you're going to see my ladder attacks. See the type. It says type here. If it says L, that's a ladder attack. I do a lot of those. Little ladders. My ladder attacks. Is that 2301? No stop loss. I have calls. 100 bands. Market L for ladder. Oh, no, long-term stock exchange. Form T, what's O? Regular sale. Yeah, I think BIOMEA, I'm gonna put a pen in. I don't know that, I'm not sure what the data's supposed to be as well. So this is 26-week top-line data of dose expansion cohorts. Didn't we have week 26 data already? So there's new cohorts. They have a small molecule GLP. That's kind of bullish. I don't know whether I'd want to, even if this drug was a 0, which let's say it is a 0 for endocrinology, would you want to be short this just for GLP? I don't know about that. I don't like that idea. They may be pretty far away from the clinic. Oh, 200 patients. I wouldn't go for compounded semaglutide if I were you. A little dangerous. I haven't looked too much at mortgages or banks in my career. It's one area I'm pretty bad at, to be honest. I was going to look at an insurance company the other day. Okay, so these are the 100 mg QD with food, 200 mg QD with food. I don't know what's so scary about GLP. Works really well. It's a natural product, you know that, right? It's natural protein. It's not like some weird small molecule. It's just peptide your body already makes. This is kind of hard to follow. I think this probably won't replicate. So I'm not sure I'd be long it. Well, they have some continued dosing at least. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens, I guess. So they don't talk about the cancer side. Is it over for cancer? 17 years from drug patent, all patents actually, 17 years from issuance, 20 years from filing. You get up to 5 years restoration for clinical development. You get, for every year of clinical development, you get half a year added back. There are many different cancers that are very treatable now. Alzheimer's, however, is not treatable. Well, not treated well at least.